Do Brazilians prefer dating foreigners by dating beyond borders? Let's watch.
When you get out to the party with your friends, your Brazilian girl calling for you, oh, where are you?
The same way it starts really fast, it ends really fast.
They come here and they see lots of beautiful women and they just can choose.
Let's watch.
What city are you from in Brazil?
I'm from here, from Rio.
São Paulo.
I'm from Rio, born and raised.
I'm from Nova Iguaçu.
Yeah, Rio. Do you prefer dating Brazilians or foreigners?
Well, it depends. Definitely a foreigner.
Right now, I prefer for another country.
Both.
Both.
Yeah.
I think Brazilians, they are quite more affectionate.
So I like this video. This video is done by Dating Beyond Borders, and I like that the video is cutting across both sexes, both genders, the male and the female. So it's not going to be based just on whether the female Brazilians love to date the male foreigners, but it cuts across both ways. Whether the female Brazilians love to date foreigners or the male Brazilians love to date foreigners too. Let's continue.
They show more love, but they are more jealous. With commitment, it could be tricky, especially with being loyal.
If you get along.
Well, that's true. Brazilians love to show love. As I've always said, they like to bombard you with love. They are very intense in the way they love, and I think that comes with a bit of more jealousy too.
With the person, if you get really way along, it's a very nice thing.
Hugging and cuddling and showing love, it's the best part.
Compared to a foreigner, takes too much time. Sometimes the person is not too open.
Brazilians are my...
That is true. See, guys, Brazilians love to show their cards very fast. When they love you, when they like you, they quickly show you, okay, I like you, I do this. Let's like they show their affections. But we, the foreigners, I don't know. It depends on which part of the country or which part of the world you are in. We Nigerians, we don't love to. We don't really show much of our cards yet. Our affections yet. We are not to that. We are not really open. The females love to play hard to get. Even the males sometimes don't want to show that. Okay, I like this babe, or whatsoever. So Brazilians are very open.
I try to avoid them. The thing about Brazilians is that they have lots of options. Here in Brazil, you're just one of their lots and lots of girlfriends. Brazilians will hate me because of this, but that's true. That's true. Gringos.
I actually don't know about
I think
that.
they are more committed to the relationship, but maybe they could be a little bit more cold. When you date a foreigner here in Brazil, they usually have the same thing like Brazilians. They come here and they see lots of beautiful women and they just can choose. So when we go out, when we meet someone outside Brazil, it's different. They treat you like a princess, and that's what I like.
Oh, you're carioca.
Yes, foreigners, we love to treat, our Brazilian babes like princesses, you cook for them, you do all sorts of things for them, for those that can cook. So I think foreigners just know how to love Brazilians, in their own ways. And I think that's why some Brazilians like to date foreigners. But of course, let's keep watching.
You're so beautiful, so handsome. For cariocas, girls, I'm so normal. But for other country, I'm like Michael B. Jordan, Lewis Hamilton, like this.
I think the best thing about dating in Brazil is the fact that you can get engaged too fast with a person. You can...
This is true. Guys, this is true. Like, just there's no time into dating. There's no time into moving from talking stage to dating, then to marriage. But one thing I know for sure here in Brazil is the fact that if you meet a lady and you guys vibe together and you guys like each other, I'm not saying love now, like each other, you guys can take things very fast. In this Brazil, we take things very far. The Brazilians take things very far. So far you guys like each other and you're on the same note, you can quickly date within 3 months. Within the 6 months, you guys can just get engaged or get into a stable union, like a very serious relationship that you can register in the registry, like you guys are dating officially. It means you guys are devoted to each other. Yes.
I feel like really connected to that person, like in a real quick time, and I feel good about that.
The kisses. Yeah, it's so much better. Sorry guys, but it's true. Here in Brazil, the people kiss so much well than another country.
Yes.
Mostly men, they have pegada. When you are making out and you have this thing that, make people very interested, very into it, and it is true most of the time.
The worst thing is the same way it starts really fast, it ends really fast. You can start it doing really well, really great, and suddenly it just stop and you got like, oh my god, what did they do something wrong? Did she did something wrong? And you got kind of lost.
Have you ever
Yes, that's true, guys. I think that's true to some levels because as you quickly like somebody, you start flowing with the person, a lot of emotions is in place. You get to start liking somebody very fast. You are not really seeing with the clear eyes to quickly get to know this person personally, try to know some things about that person and see some things are the red flags in that person. So I think a lot of emotion. So if a Brazilian can quickly like you, whether male or female, if they can quickly fall in love with you or like you very fast, it can also end badly very fast, and it can come with a lot of hate. Just like how they can quickly bombard you with love, I think they can also quickly bombard you with a lot of hate too. Hate might be a strong word, but I think a lot of disinterest.
dated a culture besides Brazilian? Couple.
Italian.
Friends.
Italian, English, Croatian, Denmark, France, Italy.
One time I have a date with the girl from Ireland.
What is your favorite culture to date and your least favorite?
Well, the favorite's Denmark because they are very romantic. The Italians, they are very affectionate. They are very loving people, and I think they are quite similar with us. But then with the loyalty, maybe it could be a thing. Too similar, maybe.
I really like the Italian culture. I dated a girl from Sicily. It was really similar. The people there are warm. We are warm as well, so it's more on the bond of the connection. Some Asian cultures as well. Like I never met someone from Asia, but when I saw him on the internet, I really liked it.
Do you prefer to date somebody from France or from Brazil?
France, I think, because in Brazil everybody look at me like sexually formed, and when I'm dating with a people from another country, they treat me like a princess.
English.
Okay, that sexual part. I think a lot of people see Brazilian women as sexual objects or whatsoever. Even some Brazilian guys see their Brazilian girls as sexual objects. And even outside the world, they see most Brazilians, some foreigners see Brazilians as sexual objects. And when you come, you want to just Brazil is this, Brazil is that. When you get to Brazil, you get to bang a lot of girls, you get to sleep with a lot of girls, you get to do a lot of things with a lot of girls. And that notion, I think that notion should stop. There are bad girls everywhere, there are bad guys everywhere, there are bad, baddies everywhere in every part of the country. Let's not stereotype them. But she was actually talking about how Brazilians are seeing her as somebody like a sexual thing, while other foreigners are not seeing her as a sexual thing, the one that she has met based on her own perspective. I think so. But in other ways, it also changes why some Brazilians can see their babes as not a sexual thing. Foreigners can see Brazilians as sexual thing. I think that notion has to stop.
Will be my least option. They are
English.
very cold.
Very cold.
North American.
That's true. I've watched a video before too, and somebody said people from those English Americans or no English, England. People from England. They can be very cold in terms of showing their affections or showing emotions. And Brazilians are very touchy. They show everything.
Like USA, I don't feel that connected to
USA here too.
no people from USA at all.
Have you ever lived in
So-
another country?
Yeah,
Canada.
in Italy.
Did you date?
People from England, people from USA, people from Canada. As the guy has said, it doesn't really feel them too much. So I don't know. Maybe you guys should. I think that's just the way they are. I don't know how the girls are there in their own ways. And the guys too. Please let me not be too biased in my talk.
There?
No, the boys there is so much worse than Brazilian. Really, they look at me like a sexually formed so much. I don't like this way.
Do you find that people are really jealous in Brazil?
Oh, gee, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
a lot.
I think so too. A
For
lot.
me,
Brazilians are jealous.
Brazilian girls
Brazilian
is the
ladies
more
are jealous.
jealous girls in the world.
Even the guys too. Even Brazilian guys too can be very jealous. Guys, they can be very jealous. I've heard a lot of, not a lot of, but I've had some cases where the Brazilian guy can just puff somebody because the ex or the girlfriend is cheating or is with another person, a new person, the ex, and they can puff you. So Brazilian guys too can be very jealous. I think, and the Brazilian ladies too can be very jealous and so hot. Their head can be hot. They can like to be destructive.
Toxic relationship
Toxic,
in
yes.
Brazil, it's quite strong.
Do you think
Yes,
that the women
rather
are more
toxic.
jealous or the men, or is it equal?
Both.
Both
I think
of them.
both.
Usually
Yes, both of them. You see?
woman, but yes, all women are jealous. I mean, people don't actually think Brazilians are Latinas, but we are Latinas and we are very, very jealous. I am jealous. I can't deny it. It's just how we are.
When you get out to the party with your friends, your Brazilian girl calling for you, oh, where are you? All the time. And I don't like this so much, but
Every day.
the culture of here.
Maybe things are progressing, but I see a lot with my close friends and everything. They have this dependency.
Are you a jealous person?
A little bit, yeah, I have to confess. If I see my girlfriend, if the
I'm
other
just
guy,
racist.
just look like,
Do you find that people cheat more in Brazil?
A lot. I mean, girls here look amazing, and the guy can say he loves you at the same time he can say he loves 2-3 more.
Do you think cheating is more common in Brazil?
Yes. I've
Yes.
seen like many cases from people that you
I have not seen
expect
cases
this.
by myself, but I've watched some videos, people talking about their experience, and I can say, okay, I think cheating too is like common in Brazil, just like it's common in Nigeria or Africa.
People that you don't expect this, and I don't know why it happens. Persons see the moment and they don't think too much and they just go, and then they realize, oh my god, I did shit.
now,
Bad is plenty. Bad is plenty for Brazil. So what do you think people will not really cheat? But guys, that's not an excuse too. That's not an excuse. See, that's not an excuse. But yeah, guys, bad is plenty. Bad is plenty. This one, see this one, see this one. So guys and girls, learn to be responsible. Not everywhere, cho. Not everywhere be. But bad is plenty. Guys, if you know what I mean. Bad is plenty for you.
matter cheating. I prefer finish my relationship than cheating my girlfriend.
No, I don't know. I don't think so. No.
I never cheated. I can be true on this, but I was cheated 3 times. My
Wow.
3 Brazilian exes, they all
Wow.
cheated on me with girls online or
Wow.
in real life. That happens a lot here. The only guy that never cheated on me was my French ex. Bye, baby.
Who pays on the first date?
The boy, the guy,
The man.
And then when you're in a relationship,
the both.
it's normal to split it 50-50?
Guys, yes, there's something I want to really talk about. As a Nigerian guy, as an African guy, I paid on most dates. But why paying on most dates? Even the first date, the Brazilian ladies are always like, let's split the bill. And that's one thing I like about them. They want to split the bill. And that's just cool. Even though I ended up paying the bill, they still wanted to split the bill. And sometimes when we go out, maybe to a second date, they'll be like, okay, I'm going to pay for this one. Maybe you go to the cinema, okay, she'll now tell, okay, let me pay fully for this one. You already paid the full one for the first date. And that's very cool. And trust me, I have never met a gold digging Brazilian, a gold digging lady, a gold digger. I've never met any gold digger in Brazil. Personally, even though people are saying there are a lot of girls that can be like, they want to chop you, they want to eat your money, they want to take your cash or whatever. I've never met any gold digger in Brazil. And the 50-50, I like it about them, even though the African thing in me, the Nigerian thing in me want to make me pay like all of it and everything like that.
Exactly.
I don't think it's like much fair if you go to a place and the guy pays for everything, so I like to share. But it's very common. The guys pay for the first dinner, the first date.
Usually it's the man that used to pay, but it's pretty equal. I have a personal experience that the girl paid the bill for us both, and I got like, oh my god, I fell in love with you.
Was she Brazilian?
Yes, yeah.
Do you think that the stereotypes about Brazilians are true?
Which one?
For instance, that the culture is really sexual.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's true.
The least true is about Brazilians girls being kind of sluts. Usually people see us like carnival bikinis and we go kissing everywhere, and that's not true. We just are more free. And
Guys, there are baddies everywhere. There are bad girls everywhere. They can be just some level. I know Brazil is a very free country. You know, people are on bikinis. You know, you hardly find people on bikinis in Africa or in Nigeria because of the culture. You know, we don't like to expose our body that much, even though there are still some people, you know, something like open in Nigeria or Africa or some parts. So Nigeria of Africa or Africa, that's my own experience. But guys, let's stop sexualizing every Brazilian lady. You get? Let's stop sexualizing them. But those girls are beautiful. But what they've said is true. Most people, or some people, think Brazilians are sexual objects. Not all of them. Yes, let's stop it. So sometimes when foreigners come, you don't want to toast a babe or you want to ask a babe out or you go to a bar, there's a way they start acting cocky. I don't know, based on what they've had about Brazilian Guinea, and that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. That's why some Brazilians don't like gringos. Gringos are foreigners.
that's it.
People coming from North America, Europe, they come to here say, I wanted the Brazilian girls because they are easy, but no, it's not. It's not true, you know. This is the stereotype. Maybe it's sold by the media in the movies and whatever, and people believe that.
My favorite we party a lot. That's something that we can't deny. We do like partying, we do like barbecues, and Brazilian parties are the best.
I love Brazilians. For me, the most
Brazilians can party. They can party. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, they can party. When you go to bars, especially Pinheiros, Faria Lima, all those places, Fradique Coutinho, those places, they love to party. Avenida Paulista, Consolação, they love to party. Brazilians love to party. Like they're gonna go to work the next day and they'll party till like 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. or 2 a.m. in the morning when they're gonna go to work. And there's one thing about them that will still shock you. They like to party on work days. But trust me, on public holidays, when you ask a Brazilian house, like, let's go, and a few of them will go out. A few of them just want to stay at home. The public holiday is meant for them to rest. You hardly find them having commitments to maybe some places. Though some people still go out to go and chill. But Brazilians love to party.
beautiful girls of the world. Yeah.
What do you think the differences are between dating in Rio and dating in a place like São Paulo?
I think it's quite similar. In Rio,
São Paulo
the guys
all
are
day.
more like not taking serious.
Yes.
We have these
São
contatinhos.
Paulo
We
all
say
day.
that we
I love
have
São
many
Paulo. I prefer São
contatinhos,
Paulo
which
to
is
you.
many people that you're gonna hook up. You have these 3-4 guys that you have this relationship at the same time, simultaneously.
For me, dating in Rio is more like, bitch, get out to the dinner, coast of the ocean, like this. I love this vibe. Yeah, I'm carioca, but this vibe for me is unique.
If you see someone at a bar that you think is really beautiful, how do you go up to them?
I'm going in the bar like this. Oh, hello, hola. So where are you from? Yeah. So, oh, I like your clothes. It's beautiful. Your eyes too, right? Oh, from Harry Potter. Yeah, I love Harry Potter too.
Come closer, asking the name, and asking for what kind of drink are you having? Is it good? Is it not good? And
Someone normally pay for me a drink and like, oh, how are you? What are you doing here? And now we start a conversation.
if the person opens for you, you feel, no, I can go more. If the person doesn't even look to your face, you say, okay, last game, let's get off.
And that is your girlfriend.
It's beautiful. My girlfriends, I love in my life.
Okay.